In this section, we will review why user experience design is valuable, explore some fundamental values, relate to some history, and get us on the same page. We will then finish with some UX community resources that will help us all stay in the same conversation. In this video, we're going to take a look at some visualizations of how we see UX, some skills and things that UX people do, some of the history that is associated with our practice, and some resources that will keep us all on the same conversation. So let's get going. Take a look at this diagram. As you can see, user experience lies at the center of a large number of skills, technical prowess, and educational skills, and is formed from the intersection of three main entities: business in the red, technology in the green, and design in the blue. This Venn diagram attempts to show what a UX designer must consider and how their skill sets can be applied across these three verticals. UX is the intersection of systems, so you will find there are many ways to visualize UX, but the importance being it's the intersection. Here's another diagram. This tree diagram shows that user experience design applies the combination of human psychology, human-computer interaction, design thinking, graphic design, UI design, product design, development, with a splash of technology management and business acumen. We'll be touching on many of these branches in the UX in later sections. What's unique is you can see that the root of great user experience spreads across a wide array of educational verticals and skills that can combine to help synthesize a better experience. User experience has become an emerging profession through the pervasive use of the internet, networked technologies, and computer software. Take a look at this media usage from an old Wired article. Our usage of screen computers, televisions, and phones is constantly changing as all things are becoming networked and ubiquitous. This makes UX all the more relevant as it is a collection of human-centered design skills that are built on the values of learnable, usable, and useful systems. We need to become knowledgeable about what motivates human beings in order to build experiences for them, as good user experience design saves money and creates value. A good UX design makes people want to use the product, and when they use the product, they buy more, and then they can recommend it to their friends. Let's take a look at the UX skills matrix. You observe that user experience designer has many skill verticals. Throughout this course, we will be concentrating on just a few verticals of this matrix: the business context analysis, some usability engineering, user experience planning, some information architecture, and some interaction design. Now you might ask the question, where do all these UX skills come from? So let's review quickly a few of our UX founding fathers. IDEO, company to the left, is a global product design firm out of San Francisco that is famous for deploying design thinking practices and innovative solutions. Bill Moggridge, a founding partner of IDEO, is the grandfather of UX, as he built the first laptop computer and realized that the importance of the screen to be an experience, i.e. the birth of interaction design. In this next slide, Don Norman, on the left, is a writer, theorist, and educator who wrote the book Design of Everyday Things, that places observation and form making upon the core of interaction design. Jakob Nielsen, on the right, is a web standards proponent and an early HTML pioneer and responsible for all links being blue with an underline. He also created the heuristics evaluation matrix, which is a concept of measuring systems we will be applying to our web design later in this course. Steve Jobs, who we all know, knew the power of a great experience. His platform ushered in the graphical user interface to the personal computing revolution, and the platform which has since been applied to other objects, including iTunes, music, and mobile technologies of apps and devices which have become pervasive in our world. Jony Ive has taken up his torch and now builds and oversees the product design and software design at Apple, and embodies the same innovation spirit of Steve Jobs, placing design and design thinking at the heart of making great products and experiences. There are many, many more that continue to define and make the role of UX and the practitioners in it. However, it is a rapidly growing field, and the advances in education, design tools, development strategies, and open source platforms, along with entrepreneurialism and management processes, have created a growing need for the skills of great user experience. In the end, UX has impact on the bottom line, and as more and more businesses are being confronted by the changing business landscape, great UX helps smooth those bumpy seas. Since UX is ever evolving and ever changing, and the field of new technologies and new form factors, new platforms, new products, new problems are all around the corner. Here are a few resources for you to keep up to speed with what's going on in the UX and technology community. There's UXPA, which is an organization for user experience designers. There's a blog, which is UX Matters, and UX Mag, and UX Booth. There's also more specific for web designers, which is Web Designers Depot. It has UX things. Smashing Magazine, if you're not familiar, has a user experience related content piece. There's UX Designer, is more about design in UX. And then there's IA.net, which is about information architecture. And then the design community and technology community of Core 77. This is a small grouping, and there's many, many more. Spend some time poking around the conversations, articles, and examples of great UX. A good user experience designer should be like an endless sponge, ever soaking up what is happening in design, business, and technology. In the next video, we will get into the fundamentals of building a website.